Why is it when someone makes a mistake that you notice it straight away and correct them on it, but whenever a negative thought comes into your head, you don't correct yourself and you go along with it? This is how you trick your brain into thinking more positively. This is for people that are, just finding it hard with day-to-day life. They're finding it hard just even getting out of bed, doing their washing, doing the simple tasks, even getting to work or even leaving the house. This is for people that are thinking so negatively about themselves. They're eating themselves from the inside and they don't know what to do. So number one, gratitude rewires neural pathways. So if you're constantly thinking in a negative way, if you constantly think in a negative way about yourself, then that is something that you have wired up in here. It's not something that someone has told you. It may be someone that has told you this and you start to believe it in your own head. But I'm going to show you how you can change that. So what I started doing was I started writing down 3 things in the day that I'm grateful for. Whether that be the sun being out. I live in the UK, so there's not really much sun, but there's sun out today. Whether it be, getting outside for a walk, whether it be doing your washing, whether it be making your bed, anything, be grateful for them things. The more you focus on the positivity, the rewiring happens in neuroplasticity. The more you focus on the positive, the stronger the connections grow in your brain circuit. Studies have shown with weeks of just consistent work, so just consistency, telling yourself that you're capable of doing something. So for example, if you're trading crypto or trading stocks or whatever, and you've failed at a trade and you've lost money, instead of thinking so negatively about that, look at it, sit back in your chair and say to yourself, I am capable of this. Or also say, I know what not to do whenever this occurs again. Just thinking in that more positive mind frame makes your brain think, no, I am more capable of this. I can do this. I know what not to do. I know what to do now. It gives you a better perspective, but it takes practice. Like, don't think that this is a light switch and it's going to change overnight. It's not going to change overnight. It takes weeks, if not months. So try it and do it. Even if it's just saying, I'm capable of washing my clothes. I'm capable of making my bed. I'm capable of cleaning my room. I'm capable of getting outside for a walk. I'm capable of just not sitting on my phone, scrolling on social media for 10 minutes a day. Start small. The smaller the steps are, the more realistic it is. Don't aim for something too high that you're not capable of. Start small. Number 2, reframing builds new mental habits. We'll go back to the trading, like taking that negative thought of I'm a failure trading, reframe it, like we said in the previous step, changing the I'm a failure into I know what not to do. Whenever you sit back and look at that chart, you're saying to yourself, right, see where you made the mistake. Whenever you actually acknowledge the mistake and know what not to do, you're saying in your brain then, right, okay, whenever this occurs again, it weakens old synaptic pathways. Like, let's say you're a trader, I'm a failure, etc. Acknowledge that you've made the mistake, saying I know what not to do a few times while looking at your screen. Then whenever that's done, sit back in your chair fully, like in a meditative position. Imagine yourself doing the trade of your dreams. Imagine yourself not doing that mistake again. Imagine yourself excelling at whatever you want to do, whether it's trading, going to the gym, just getting better mentally. Imagine yourself actually in that position. What this does is it trains your brain to think more positively. So we'll go back to the trading, for example. Imagine the trade, sit back, visualize you looking at the screen and you've nailed the trade. You've smashed the trade. Say to yourself, through deep breathing, I am capable. What that's doing is it's rewiring your brain. So anytime you look at a trading chart, your brain automatically has wired that to, I'm capable of doing this. It's just the small things that we don't think about that go a long way. But like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. It might take you weeks, months, years, who knows. A light bulb will go off in your head one day. Once you train your brain, rewire it to the way that you want to think, then you will know that anything is capable. Once you can do the small things, if you visualize yourself doing your washing, making your bed, once you actually act on that, then you will understand, because dopamine, serotonin and norepinephrine will rush through your body, and then you will get that motivational state that will keep you driven to do more. This isn't going to happen overnight, but with repetition over months, your brain physically adapts, making these positive thoughts feel less forced and more natural. Why is it when someone makes a mistake that you notice it straight away and correct them on it, but whenever a negative thought comes into your head, you don't correct yourself and you go along with it? Start thinking differently. These are the things that you need to do. Stop pointing out people's mistakes. There's nothing you can do that will make them look at it differently. You have to think about what you want and what you are capable of. So whenever this negative thought comes into your head, acknowledge it. Know that it's there. Once you can acknowledge it and understand why it's there, then you can move forward. Like if it's leaving the house, why are you getting so anxious whenever you're leaving the house? What happens? Does your heart rate come up? Does your mood change? Does something happen to you physically and mentally that you can acknowledge? Once you know that, then you can grow and you can change. Step 3, visualization strengthens predictive circuits. Picture yourself crushing a specific goal, whether it's doing your washing, cleaning your room, or completing a workout. Repeated rehearsal reinforces connections in the brain's motor and parental regions and mimics real practice. So what you have to do is you have to sit and picture yourself being that person that you want to be. Don't visualize someone else. Visualize yourself doing it. So if it's building muscle, for example, you have to sit, no distractions, turn your phone off or put it on do not disturb. Sit down for 5-10 minutes or less or more if you can do it, and visualize yourself being that person. With repetition, it becomes more clear. Let me give you an example. At the start, if you want to build muscle, you'll probably only think about the person you want to be. So you getting into that shape. Then over time, you'll start to put in lifting weights, going out a run, swimming. These things will start to come more natural to you. I'll use myself as another example. I visualized doing this video before I even done it. You know, I visualized myself putting my phone up the camera, putting the microphone here, recording everything and talking about what I'm talking about now. I prepared myself so my brain already knew what to do whenever the time came. You have to find out the reason why you're doing it. The reason why you're doing it will stick so much more than thinking about something you don't have. For me, the reason I wanted to sit down and make this video, tell you what I've learned, is because I was sick and tired of me feeling so depressed, so down, so unworthy, and so thinking so negative about myself that things had to change. So I sat down and I learned brain science. I learned the connections that the brain has, what different parts of the brain do. And my reason why it kept me focused and determined on my goals with also visualization. I want to help you. I want to help people. I want to help anyone that's willing to actually want to put in the work and learn. So that's what kept me motivated. It's my why. But I also visualize myself, you know, standing in front of a crowd of people talking and just giving a speech or a one-to-one, you know, or like a counseling session, or even just talking to your friends. You know, these things are the stuff that you have to sit and visualize. Because once you visualize it, once you actually act on them, then it starts to become more of a reality, because your brain has already been wired to think that it's done it already. So whenever the time comes, like I said, it knows what to do. You just have to always remember why you're doing it and why you see yourself in that position. You know, so visualize it. Sit down, always start putting stuff into your calendar in your phone, or writing it on a calendar or whatever, preferably on your phone because you're always on your phone. and actually stick to it. Don't worry if you say that you want to start your visualization session at say 1 p.m. and you don't actually do it. As soon as you remember, if it's that day, remember just to do it. It doesn't matter when you do it. Like they say that the best time to do it is whenever you wake up or whenever you go to bed, so then that your subconscious will dream about it whenever you're in your bed sleeping. I understand that. However, some people forget to do it. I forget to do it. I don't do it. I do it in the morning. Like whenever I've stood outside and sort of taken in what is going on around me and my head's a bit more clear. I'm not filling my head in the morning with social media. I'm not, listening to music. I'm not doing them sort of things. I go to stand outside and I look up, see the birds, I see the trees, everything like that. And then whenever my head is clear after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, I then go and visualize. I then do meditation. These are the things that you need to keep in mind. If your brain's muffled and you don't know what's going on and it's racing 24/7, then that's a perfect time to do it. Meditate, calm yourself down, visualize where you actually want to be in life, because you can get caught up in real world activities so much that you forget what's actually going on around you. Just take the time throughout the day or at any point in the day and visualize it. Link music to it if it helps, because some music motivates people, some sights motivate people. These sights and your vision and your hearing are very, very sensitive. So the words that you hear every day, they actually do subconsciously like manipulate what you are trying to do. If someone's in work and they're sitting that they saying that they can't be arsed, or they can't do the work, or they don't want to do the work, or they're just being lazy, then you're going to become that person as well, because their energy is feeding to you. So you need to then start thinking more positively and visualize yourself actually doing these sort of things. Like music is a big one, but I recommend doing music with no vocals. Or if the vocals is uplifting and you want to be uplifted, then yes. Don't listen to rap music. Rap music is going to make you think in a negative way, because it's always about doing drugs, making loads of money, having all these women, stabbing people if you're in the UK. Like, these are the things that you don't want in your life. So get rid of them. Get rid of them. If you want to be a rapper, do it. If that's what you want to do, visualize yourself doing it. But most people don't want to be rappers. They just want to be happy. So visualize yourself being happy. Visualize yourself being that person that you want to be, and things will actually work out for you. So step number 4, action drives structural change. Without action, all this visualization, all this gratitude talk is worthless. It's worthless. Because if you're not taking the actions to becoming that person that you want to be, then what's the point of actually doing this? You have to, if you're depressed and you can't get out of bed and being lazy, then let's change that. Start small, 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 small. Look around your room. What's annoying you? Is it your washing? Is it your untidy room? Is your bed not made? Is your clothes piling up? Whatever it is. It doesn't have to be in your room. It can be in your brain too as well. But start taking action. The reason I say look around your room and see what you can take action on is because if you're in a depressive state, you can't get out of bed, you're being lazy, these sort of things, there's always something in your room that you can change about it. Start small. Once you force yourself to do the washing, then you get a boost of dopamine, you get a boost of serotonin, you get a boost of norepinephrine. So these things then, whenever they're all 3 of these things are triggered, it makes you want to actually do more. Be motivated to do more, knowing that you can actually do these things then, whenever you actually put practice and action, and then, only then, you'll actually see a difference. I'm acting on what I visualize now by making this video. I've learned so much that I feel like it can be a bonus to people, and I can actually help people. So that's my why, and I'm taking action on it. Do you understand? You have to create the visualization in your head and then act on it. There's no point visualizing having all these muscles and losing weight if you're not in the gym, if you're not going to run, if you're not out walking, if you're not swimming, whatever it is. There's no point having these goals and having this visualization in your head without taking action. Start small. If you're in bed and you can't get out of it and you're depressed, Think about a moment whenever you were happy. What does that bring you? Whether it's fishing with your father, whether it's cooking with your mother, whether it's out with your friends, whether it's a conversation you had, whether it's a moment in your life where you felt at peace, go back to that moment, think about it. And then, whenever you feel like it, get out of your bed and make it. Turn round and say to yourself, I've made my bed. I can do this. Then, find something else, something small, like doing your washing, clean your room, or cleaning the house, or whatever it may be. Find it, start small. And then once your brain then, over repetition and time of weeks and months of you just doing these small things, will understand that, it's possible. Your brain rewires itself to thinking that, making your bed or doing a workout or, doing your washing, it will tag that as a reward. So then you get a boost of dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, everything like that. These are the things that you need to take into account. Like I'm going to go back to my situation. My situation, for example, I was tired of feeling worthless, depressed, and thinking so negatively. So I decided to change that. I dedicated time into learning how the human brain works. And I've also told you my reason why. It's in black and white whenever you actually put the work in. Once you understand how your brain works, and once you understand why you're feeling these feelings from this scenario, then you can actually grow as a person because you can understand what is triggering you more. These are the things that you need to do in order to just think more positively about yourself. We've all been there. Like no one's perfect. We've all been in the situation where you feel like the whole world's against you. Like it's easy to hate yourself in a world where you think everyone else hates you. So it's easy to do it because you think so negatively about what other people think of you. Whenever you get into your own frame of mind, you will then be able to control how your emotions are triggered by certain things, and you can understand them a bit more. I had someone in my previous job that, he was constantly just up here with stress, with anger, with negativity, everything like that. And it was feeding to me subconsciously. I didn't know. But I remember just being on the phone with someone and I just started shouting at them straight away. And then they were all like, whoa, what did I do? And that's whenever I clicked in my head and I saw his negative energy is feeding towards me. So if you want to start thinking more positively about yourself and you have a boss that doesn't really like you or is constantly critiquing every wee small thing, sit back and look at why they're doing it and being like, okay, how can I change this? How can I act better on this? Instead of feeling worthless that you've made a mistake on a paper in your university degree, or you've made a mistake in an email whenever you're sending it to someone in work, sit back and be like, okay, how can I make this better? How can I adapt? And then once you take action, then everything else just feels natural. The key points to remember from this, I hope that this has actually gotten through to some of you and you actually learned something from this video. I'm still learning myself, but you're coming on the journey with me. I've implemented these things I'm talking about now in this book that I wrote notes down about. I'm implementing these things in my life so I can tell you now that they actually work. Just with practice, repetition and consistency, that these things work. These things work. You're not going to be 100% all the time. You're not going to have 365 days of just, I am fantastic. Depression, all these negative thoughts creep into your brain. It's normal. You're a human. But it's how you act and how you can come out of that. If you acknowledge that, you're not in a good mood today, but tomorrow will be better, then that's enough. Once you know that and you've been like, right, how am I feeling now? Then you can actually grow and rewire your brain. So like I said, it's not going to come instantly. You have to think weeks and months. You have to mold your brain into the way that you want it to think. If you stop with a specific thing like playing the guitar, like at the moment that you're doing it, it feels all natural, but over time your brain rewires itself to naturally just know how to play chords and move up and down the neck of the guitar. But if you stop, you're gonna be rusty because you haven't used them neural pathways in so long. So consistency, repetition, practice, and just constantly using your brain in a more positive way. If you're thinking so negatively, do what you have to do to get out of it. If you have to take time off work, take time off work and sit and do the stuff that I've talked about. Don't just take time off work and sit around scrolling on social media, sitting around binge eating, eating takeaways, eating nothing but junk food and not doing anything. Use your time that you have off work right, so then that you can come back into work after a week off, 2 weeks off, a month off, whatever it is, and be a completely different person. Use these things that I'm talking about. Your brain's negativity won't vanish, but you can sculpt a positive network. Start small and stick with it. What's the one negative thought you want to rewire? And ask yourself that question. Sit down and ask yourself that question. What's the one negative thought that I want to rewire? Once you have that and you have your reason why, then act on it. From what I've just said, act on it. So my DMs are always open. If you just need someone to talk to, you don't understand anything that I've said, or you understand part of it but you want me to go over it a bit more, ask me. I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to say get away from me or anything like that. The reason I made this video is so people will actually reach out to me, because I've been where you are now. It's not a nice place to be. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Thinking that you are nothing. I'm thinking you are nobody. I've been there. And it's only within the last few months that I've realised that. So if I can help you in any single way I possibly can, I will. So please, my DM's are open. I'll leave it in the description, so you can just message me whenever you want. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope that your day and the rest of these weeks and months are a lot better. Thank you.